What's good, y'all, man? We back with another video, man. How y'all doing great today, man? Today we got 15 scariest tribes you don't want to meet. I guess it's in the Philippines and all these rural areas where, like, in the forest and, like, you know what I'm saying, different parts of the United States you don't want to go, or outside of the United States. You know what I'm saying? They got different tribes and different places you can't go.
This will crawl on your
Get
face
to the
when
video,
you're
man.
sleeping. Meeting new people and learning about different communities and cultures can be enjoyable until you visit a location and encounter a man armed with a spear or worse. See people engaging in occult behavior. Strap in. Let me
You ready to
take
kill
you
your
to
ass, come out
15
of the
of
wall,
the
man.
scariest tribes you don't want to meet.
You ready to kill you soon
Number
you go out there,
1,
boy.
Surrey people, warriors. One thing you'll love about African culture is their love for cultural art, beautification, and religious practices. This doesn't go unnoticed among the Surrey people. They've gone far and beyond to show us that they love beautification more than they love life itself.
How do you get
They
a
pride
look
themselves
though?
on their scars and how many they carry. Every beauty modification tells a story. They mostly get their scars during rituals to celebrate the onset of puberty, for a first menstrual cycle, and childbirth. The Surrey men are experts in a spectacular form of stick fighting. You wouldn't want to get into their bad books. Number 2,
Them
the
red zone,
Yanomami tribe.
man.
Shh. Listen to the spirits of the forest. Deep in the
Spirits
Amazon
of the
rainforest,
forest.
there's an indigenous tribe that has remained relatively isolated from the outside world. The Yanomami are
Amazon
famous for their
rainforest.
connection with the spirit world. They're mostly guided by spirits and the wisdom of their ancestors. Number 3, Sentinelese tribe. If hostility were a person, then that would be the Sentinelese tribe.
Oh nah,
Trust
I
me,
remember
it
that
takes a
zone.
brave and confident
They
person
were,
to set
I feel
foot
like I
on
think they
the
was
scent of
shooting
the
arrows
tribe
at they was
doesn't
shooting
want
arrows
visitors
at the
at all. They've expressed that by throwing spears at the people who visit them. It never ends
Yeah.
well for both parties. Well, that's because the first visitors they welcomed kidnapped their people and took them to Port Blair, where they got sick and the elderly ones passed away. The
No
latter
way,
returned
boy.
the sick children to the village, and the rest became history. The experience certainly left the Sentinels with rage towards visitors.
Boy, ready, boy.
I was absolutely
not
stunned
playing,
to find
man.
how many data leaks I had to.
Folks ain't playing with y'all, man.
Number 4, Korowai tribe. Don't enjoy their melodic language too much. It might be a charm to tune you into becoming their dinner. The Korowai tribe is known for its amazing tree houses. The tall houses are designed to protect them against attacks from other tribes. I don't know about you, but I think the reasoning is quite absurd. I mean, the
Dang, how they built
tribe
that
can
zone?
just
That's on
cut up a
fire though,
tree,
I ain't gonna lie.
right? The other reason
Without-
they keep their
nah,
houses
I'm not going
high
over
is
there.
to
I
keep
just
them
said
safe
it's
from
fire.
evil spirits that lurk below the trees. Being natives of Papua New Guinea, the Korowai are said to be the last active tribe that partakes in cannibalism. Luckily, they don't eat
cannibalism.
anybody. They mostly eat their tribesmen who've been possessed by evil spirits.
What?
Number 5,
Nah, bruh.
Surma, or Surrey
Nah.
tribe. How far can the Surrey people go in keeping their culture? The answer is unimaginable. They say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And for the Surreymen, their women's beauty lies in how big and beautiful their lip plate is. When a young lady becomes of age, they get their bottom teeth removed and the bottom lip pierced, then stretched
Oh
to
my
allow the
God.
insertion of a clay
Oh.
lip plate. Number
It's gonna
6,
feel, it's gonna
Moken
look
tribe.
weird, bro.
Could these be the descendants of the Little Mermaid? The Moken tribe is said to be semi-aquatic. They're mainly found in Southeast Asia, and their entire life is centered upon the sea. Because of that, these people have incredible free-diving capabilities. They learn to swim as early as 6 months old before they can even walk. They live full-time in their traditional boats, called kabang, and only live on land during the monsoon for about 3 months a year. Their lifestyle may sound interesting, but in real life, it's a little bit...
How they be knowing a lot about these people though?
Number 7,
If they can't
the
go over
Batak
there.
tribe. Trust me,
It's
you
not
don't
crazy.
want to offend a person from the Batak tribe. These people are mostly feared for their practice of magic, but that's not all. The people of Batak have a guardian spirit in every village, the Pangaloo Balang. The Pangaloo Balang is a boy picked by the
Wait.
priest to stay with him until the day of his sacrifice. When his long-awaited day arrives, he's poisoned and boiled with herbs, and he
Oh,
acts
nah,
as a
bruh.
sacrifice for the village. He was later carved as a stone statue that stands at the shrine. They also practice ritual cannibalism. where they consume the meat and organs of their prisoners. This served as a punishment only for the most serious of crimes, and also helped to scare off potential invaders.
No way.
Who would even dare commit a crime after hearing this?
Man.
Number 8, the Night Marchers.
Man, I don't know how they. I don't know.
Although the Night Marchers
How
are
they?
legends of the Hawaiian tribe,
bro.
I must say they're pretty famous.
I got too many
Legend
questions,
has it
bro.
that the
I
Night
don't even want to
Marchers
answer.
usually walk on certain paths throughout the Hawaiian island during the night. It gets even more intense whenever the Night Marchers approach. There's always an ominous beat of drums and flares of big light torches. Here's where it gets scary. The Night Marchers are believed to kill people who don't act all submissive when they're passing by. I'm talking about getting naked and conveying submission by lying down and keeping your eyes closed no matter what you hear.
What?
Chances are that you'll make it through that night. However, people who accidentally don't hear them coming end up lifeless. Sometimes the Night Marchers won't even do it on the spot, but the person always mysteriously passes away in a couple of days. Number 9.
That's that voodoo jump, that magic
From
jump.
speaking
Man.
the same language, some Indians
time
came
for that,
up with some
boy.
unique beliefs that clearly
Ain't got
separated
time for
them
that,
from each other.
boy.
This is how the terrifying Agori tribe came to life. The scariest thing is that this tribe decided to take all the toxic traits that are against the Hindu religion. In fact, the Agori tribe has dedicated their entire life to the soul's aim for liberation. The alleged necrophilia and other strange behaviors involving the dead are well known to the Agori tribe. These rituals include sitting on top of bodies to meditate, having intercourse with willing men women in the middle of cemeteries, and covering their bodies with human ash. All of these rituals serve the singular goal of embracing what society deems filthy and ascending to the spiritual planes in order to meet God. It's said that the ritual of having intercourse in the presence of corpses endows these satis with magical abilities that allow them to execute black magic, which they're forbidden from practicing on other people. Number 10.
Ain't no way, man.
The cargo
Ain't
cult
no
first
way,
began in the
boy.
19th century around the
There's
first
no way
and
this stuff
second
like this still
wars.
still
Most of the
exists.
cargo cults took place in the Southwest Pacific sub-region of Melanesia. The notion of cargo cults is based on the ritualized construction of infrastructure and subsequent purchase of products from European colonial commerce as a means of acquiring prosperity. Basically, the oppressed Africans had to find a way to rise above their colonists, so they ended up constructing things and performing rituals on them with the hope that the real thing would come around soon. None of these beliefs actually worked, but as long as they kept these oppressed people alive, they served their purpose. Number 11. Mudmen. The only place where every day seems like Halloween is the eastern part of Papua New Guinea. Their story is quite interesting. It all began when the Isaro warriors were falling back during the war, and ended up seeking a hideout in the Isaro River. The funny thing is that when they came out of the muddy water,
Where is that?
their opposition got scared from just their muddy looks. Since then, these people have believed that the river has some supernatural powers, so they've made masks using the mud from the river just to keep
For
scaring
what?
them.
That's on do with a
Some crazy
photo.
designs included horns, sideways lips, long eyebrows that touch the ear tips, and extended ears.
What?
The masks are further embellished with
Swole
shells and
ass
textures,
boy.
creating truly frightening mask designs.
Nah,
this
bruh.
is really creepy.
Oh nah, bro.
Are you ready? Go, boy!
Ain't no way, bro.
Number 12. Cebu tribe.
Man, no,
It's
no,
crazy
no,
how
no.
sometimes creepy turns into art. Let's be honest. How many times do you meet people in skeleton costumes? Maybe in the art gallery. However, the Cebu tribe does this daily. As much as the drawings look really beautiful and creative, the drawings on their
skeletons,
bodies
bro?
are meant to scare off enemies. They also enjoy dressing up their bodies to make them sparkle, stay warm, and occasionally frighten their numerous enemies. Sometimes they'd wear enormous headdresses made of various birds. Some
That's
whose
not- that's
feathers
fine.
are as
That's
long as
fine.
1 meter. You'd be a fool not to run when you see these guys. Number
Man, who wouldn't
13,
run, bro?
Chukchi tribe. The Chukchi
Man.
tribe lives in the far east reaches of northern Siberia. Their lifestyle and dressing all shout perseverance. According to the Chukchi faith, the cosmos is inhabited by unseen spirits. An essential component of the big celebrations was offering a sacrifice. Shamanist rituals were performed for healing and divination. Additionally, this tribe lives it as their normal life. Sometimes you'll find them dressed in enormous headdresses fashioned by various birds, some of whose feathers measure 1 meter in length. They also enjoy dressing up their bodies to make them sparkle, stay warm, and occasionally frighten their numerous enemies. And trust me, you'd be a fool not to run when you meet this tribe.
Man, there's so many
Number
tribes,
14,
bro. I ain't know what the many
The
tribes, bro.
indigenous Aoreo tribe inhabit the Grand
15
Chaco.
tribes,
I
probably
know a
way
few
more than that.
people
We don't
that'll
know
give you
about.
trouble relocating, but the Aoreo tribe is a whole new headache. During the second part of the 20th century, the majority of the Aoreo tribe were forcibly driven from their ancestral lands and reduced to tiny villages where they were compelled to become sedentary in order to live. You know what they say, there's no place like home. It wasn't long before the Aoreo tribe moved back to their original habitat after being abandoned by the government. Right now, the only threat posed is deforestation. Number 15, Owa tribe.
The
The
last
Owa
tribe,
lives in
our
hilly
tribe.
rainforest regions in the northwest of Ecuador and the southwest of Colombia because their ancestral area is particularly fruitful for producing enormous coca crops. The Owa tribe have been a target for drug smugglers for decades. Now that these people have no modern weapons to protect themselves, they're constantly invaded by loggers and armed gunmen in pursuit of the coca crop.
That's lame,
Regardless,
bro.
these tribes have repeatedly refused to let it go, and instead, they keep surviving. If they stood their ground all these years with the tools they call weapons, imagine what they could do when introduced to the new world.
You ain't lying, boy. Because if all these tribes had what we have now, we'll be dead, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We'll be dead. Man, hopefully y'all like the video, bro. I ain't know that many tribes exist, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, y'all let me know, would y'all be a part of one of these tribes if y'all had to? Well, which one, man? Hopefully y'all like the video, man. See y'all tomorrow, bro.